Allahu, 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 Allah.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. Amma ba'd. So the first question is in Urdu. I will translate it, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Imam sahab wa alaikum assalam. Ikrash. नाम का मतलब और रखने का हुक्म. सवाल, क्या इकराश नाम सहाबी का है? अगर है तो ये नाम रखना कैसा है और इसका मतलब क्या है? So the question is asking the name of ikrash. Is it a sahabi name? And if we can keep this name for the child. So the answer is that yes, ikrash is one of the name of a sahabi, radiyallahu anhu. And yes, you can name this, it's a sahabi name, so you can name your boy, baby boy, Ikrash. There's nothing wrong with that, it's a sahabi name. This Ikrash, the word is from Ikrash. Ikrash is a specific type of a grass. But anyway, when we are naming our children, whether a sahabi name or a sahabiya name, we do not look at the meaning. We only know that this is a sahabi name, this is a sahabiya name. That is enough for us. We don't have to look at the meaning. Why? Because in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there were sahaba, there were sahabiyat. Those sahabi and sahabiyat which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not change their names, it means it's okay. And there were some sahaba and sahabiyat which name Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam changed, and it comes in the ahadith. We can understand that the name was changed. But any name that was not changed by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, definitely that is okay. That's again, you can keep that name. So whether it's a boy or a girl, no problem. If it's a sahabi or sahabiya, don't look at the meaning. Just look. Okay, this is the name of a sahabi. It's the same way we do in the prophets' names. We don't look at the meaning. We say, okay, this is the name of the prophet, and we keep it. As barakah, of course. So yes, ikrash is would be kasr al-ayn, with the zair on the ayn. Ikrash. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa alaikum assalam. Okay, if someone gives a bad dua or wishes evil for anyone, someone makes a dua against someone, what should we do about it? And does the bad dua get accepted if it comes from a parent, even though the child was not at fault? I've been told that Allah will always accept a parent's dua, irrespective of the situation. Remember this, brothers and sisters. We are Ummati Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So, whatever we do, whatever we say, it should be according to our deen. We have to remember this. Whatever we are about to do, we should first think about it, what Allah and His Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has prescribed for us. Rather making any bad dua or rather making any dua against someone, we should not be doing that. No matter how much we have been wronged, we should not say any dua against a brother or sister. Why am I saying this? When we look into the seerah of our beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never made a bad dua. He never made a dua against anyone. Right? And we all know how much persecution and abuse and all went with him and his sahaba. Right? When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was requested to make a dua to specific people or the enemies, what was the response in the hadith? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I was not sent as a curser, I was sent as a mercy. Rahmatul alamin. So look at the beautiful, right? So when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not make a dua against the enemies, against a nation or people, so why are we making? Right? And there's a similar incident that he made dua instead of he made a dua for guidance, because a Sahabi came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, pray against them. And then he raised his hands and he started making dua, and the Sahabi said, you know what, now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam doesn't make dua against those people. And then he said, Ya Allah, give them guidance. So whenever we are in a stage, in a situation, when we are hurt, when we are desperate, we are hurt, if a person has done something wrong, totally, 100%, again, just make a dua of guidance for that individual. And remember the teachings of our beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, there was one of our teachers, Sheikh Abdul Qayyum rahimahullah, subhanallah, you know, I remember him. You know, in Urdu, when we get mad, some people say, Allah tumhe Jahannam mein gharq kare. You know, may Allah drown you in Jahannam. You know, people sometimes, someone angry and saying this curse words and all that. Our teacher, subhanallah, when he used to get angry with us, he say, Allah tumhe Jannat mein gharq kare. May Allah drown you in Jannah instead of Jahannam. So subhanallah, you know, these minor things, because we were so much used to of listening to this dua against the people, that was the first time that we heard from our teacher making this type of a dua. So all of a sudden we were very amazed and surprised. And then for a second, it came in our mind that he gave a bad dua. He called our class fellow, you know, he's making a dua against. But for a second we realized, oh, he said Jannah. You know, we're so much used to of Jahannam using that word, right? The people were using it in the society, unfortunately. So by saying these words, he taught us, even though if you're mad, don't give any dua against it, just make a dua for that person. May Allah give you guidance, may Allah give you hidayah. You know this. So khair, dua against someone is only valid if he or she is deserving it. Remember this. If someone is deserving and you make, first of all, as I said, we should abstain from this, but if we are making it, if someone has crossed all the limits and then, you know, abusing someone or giving hard time and all that, whatever it is, and someone has said it, if that he or she person deserves it, he will deserve it. Okay? But if that person does not deserve it, that dua that made against him or her will be turned back to you. As in many places in the ahadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam talks about the la'na. If someone is sending someone a la'na, la'natullahi alayhi. You know, people say that, unfortunately. May Allah have la'nat upon you, curse upon you, right? So if that person doesn't deserve, that la'na comes back to you, the person who is saying it. So be very careful what you're saying, number one. Number two, specifically ask about the parents. What I just mentioned is also applicable for the parents. What does that mean? It is not true that the dua of the parents are accepted in all situations. We need to understand this. A lot of times, the parents are threatening and emotional blackmailing the children that, you know, this and that, and then we're gonna, you know, our prayer being accepted, or if we say something, well, the dua will be accepted by Allah. It is not true like this. Yes, if the children deserve it, let's say for example the child is going on and they're disobedient to the parents and all that, and all of a sudden, you know, that's something else. But emotional blackmailing or threatening, and the child or the children does not deserve it, then they don't deserve it. It will not happen. The dua will not be accepted. Right? So if there is any issue, disagreement, whether it's with parents and children or whether it's someone else, we should sit down and resolve it in a good manner. That's what it is. And instead of giving any dua against that person, make dua for him or for her. So may, you know, if they're doing something wrong, may Allah give them hidayah, may Allah give them the true understanding. And not only that, you're making the dua, you're also getting that reward of making a dua for your brother or sister in Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. A child was born and received money for his birth from many relatives. Gifts, huh? People give gifts in Aqiqah and all this. His parents decided to keep all the money earned for the child and give it to him when he gets married or is in dire need for it. They also want to keep adding to it every month throughout his life. Who needs to pay zakah on it? When does zakah need to be given for it? Valid question, very good. Because a lot of times, people, relatives, friends, they do give gifts to the children, money for example, and then we have that, the parents or the children have their money bank or money box, right? They keep on putting in all that. And sometimes parents keep it for the children. The money and gifts belong to the children. Remember this. Whatever gifts is being given to the children, as money for example or something, that belongs to the children. But yes, you're the caretaker. The parents or the guardian are the caretaker. But the money belongs to them, right? The parent must keep it for safety or to use it upon them. That is perfectly fine. That's not a problem. And if they want to keep on adding money, like let's say for example, sometimes the parents do $10, $20, $50 monthly or whatever, just to keep on adding it, so for the children, it will belong to the children. Okay. In regards to zakah, zakah is not fard, is not obligatory upon a child until they become baligh. Remember this. Whatever money is being collected in that money box or in the bank account, whatever it is, the child is a child. But once the child comes into that age of bulughat, Islamically, I'm not talking about 18 years old, Islamically, whether it's 10 years old, 11, 12, 15 is the maximum. If there's no sign of bulugha, boy or girl, 15, the age of 15, the Sharia has fixed. When the child, boy or girl, becomes 15, they're baligh. Right? So from that, and now they have, if let's say for example, in their money box or bank account, they have enough money that reaches the nisab, so they will give zakah on it. Now the child or the boy or the girl is wise enough to do it by themselves, they do it, otherwise the parents will do it for themselves. Now, let's say for example, the child become baligh today, and they have that much money that reaches that nisab, right? So then today and the next year, they will a year, hawlani hawl, a year has to pass. So from today, what's the date today? 17 October 2024. So then 17 October 2025, if that boy or girl still have that much nisab or more than that, then the zakah will be wajib. If they cannot do it by themselves, the parents should be giving out and tell them, this is also a teaching to them, educating them. They look, okay, count your money, divide it, at least they have that idea that this is going to happen, and then this much, let's say for example $50, $20, $100, whatever it is, you give out. With this money we're going to be giving it to the poor and the needy. This is also educating them like that. So this is the thing. Okay, that's it. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك.